Have you ever found yourself wondering, why isn't my body responding the way it used to? You're not alone, and I want you to know this right away. You are not broken. You are not failing. You are simply changing. And that's something we can absolutely work with. I'm Dr. Elena Grace. For over 30 years, I've worked with men in their 60s, 70s, even 80s men who once felt confused, ashamed, or even defeated by changes in their sexual response. And every single one of them had more vitality and intimacy available than they believed possible once they understood what was truly going on. This isn't about chasing youth or comparing yourself to how you were at 25. This is about something deeper, reclaiming confidence, clarity, and connection in the body you have today. In this video, we're going to gently explore why your body feels different, what that actually means, and most importantly, what you can do to restore a strong, satisfying, and shame-free relationship with your sexuality. Let's start this journey together, with understanding, not judgment. The changes you're experiencing aren't a sign of weakness, they're biology. As men reach their 60s, the body begins to operate in a new rhythm: testosterone. The hormone that fuels not just sex drive, but energy, confidence, and even mood, tends to decline gradually with age. But it doesn't disappear. It simply shifts. Blood flow to the genitals can become less efficient. Nerve endings may require more time or stimulation to respond. Erections may take longer to develop, and orgasms may feel different, sometimes less intense, sometimes more internal. All of this is normal. It's your body recalibrating, not shutting down. One of my patients, Robert, 62, came to me whispering, "I think I'm losing myself." He hadn't felt aroused in months, but after we talked through what was happening physiologically and removed the shame, he actually smiled. "So, I'm not broken?" he asked. "No," I told him. "You're in a new chapter, and we can work with that." Understanding these changes is the first step. It helps you stop fighting your body and start cooperating with it. And the truth is, this stage of life holds enormous potential for depth, sensuality, and even new kinds of pleasure if we listen closely to what your body is saying. Here's something I say often to my patients. You're not 20 anymore, and that's not a bad thing. But many men still try to relate to their bodies as if nothing has changed. They try to recreate the speed, the pressure, the urgency of youth. They rush, grip too tightly, rely on visual stimuli only, and expect the same instant results. And when it doesn't happen, they feel embarrassed, frustrated, sometimes even ashamed. But let's pause here. Masturbation isn't supposed to be a test of function. It's a space to reconnect to your body, your breath, your senses, your self-worth. What worked in your 20s fast and hard often bypasses the kind of deep, nourishing stimulation your body actually craves now. Your nervous system may want slower, more consistent touch. Your arousal may build more gradually. And that's not a malfunction, it's an invitation to experience something more expansive. I'll never forget Frank, 68, who said, "I was using the same routine from when I was a teenager, rushed, mechanical, and frankly, empty." We worked together on slowing down, changing his environment, using warmth, scent, sound. And within weeks, he said, "It doesn't just feel better, it feels human again." So let's retire the myth that harder is better. At this stage, presence trumps performance. And slowing down doesn't mean giving up. It means finally giving in to what actually works. Now that we've released the old go hard or go home mindset, let's talk about what actually works, what feels good, real, and right for your body today. The first thing I recommend is breathing. Yes, breathing. Deep, slow, rhythmic breath helps calm the nervous system, improve circulation, and connect your awareness to your physical sensations. Try this. Place one hand on your chest and one on your belly. Inhale slowly for 4 seconds, hold for 2, exhale for 6. Do that for just 3 minutes before touching yourself and notice how much more grounded you feel. Next, use high-quality lubricant. Many men skip this, seeing it as optional. But the truth is, as skin thins and natural moisture decreases with age, lubrication becomes essential for comfort and pleasure. Choose a water-based or silicone-based lube without harsh chemicals. Also, change your environment. Don't treat self-pleasure like a chore in a dim bathroom. Turn on soft lighting. Play relaxing music. Light a candle. This isn't indulgence, it's signaling to your nervous system that you're safe, supported, and allowed to receive. Finally, explore new rhythms. Touch different areas of your body. Try slower motions. Use a feather-light grip. If you need guidance, there are respectful educational resources out there. Not porn, but real intimacy guides made specifically for mature men. Every one of these practices works because it honors who you are now, not who you were decades ago. And that respect you show your body, it has a way of giving back. One of the most overlooked keys to better sexual response after 60 is simply movement. The penis, like any other part of the body, relies on healthy blood flow, strong muscles, and oxygenation. And that begins far before the bedroom. Start with just 10 to 15 minutes of daily walking. Walking gets your heart rate up just enough to stimulate blood flow not only to your heart and brain, but to your pelvic region. One study even showed that men who walked briskly each day had significantly better erectile function over time. Now let's talk about a group of muscles most men forget about until there's a problem. The pelvic floor. These are the sling-like muscles that support your bladder, prostate, and yes, sexual function. If they're too weaker, too tight, you may experience difficulty maintaining an erection or fully emptying your bladder. You don't need a gym or special equipment. Just practice pelvic floor contractions, also known as Kegels for men. Gently contract the muscles you'd use to stop urination. Hold for a few seconds, then release. Try 10 repetitions, once or twice a day. It shouldn't feel like a strain, more like a quiet activation, a reminder to your body that you're still in control. Remember, movement isn't about getting shredded abs or perfect form. It's about reminding your body that you're still alive, still capable, still strong, and that every step forward is one more message to your nervous system. I'm still here. I still matter. Sometimes, despite your best efforts, things still don't feel right. And that's okay. One of the kindest, most courageous things a man can do for his heel, that any Aggies to know when it's time to ask for help. So how do you know? If you're experiencing consistent erectile difficulties, meaning more than 50% of your attempts end in frustration over a period of 3 months or more, that's not a failure rate's feedback. Your body may be signaling something deeper. Issues with blood pressure, cardiovascular health, hormonal balance, or even early signs of diabetes. Another sign is loss of morning erections. While frequency may naturally decrease with age, a total absence can be a red flag for vascular changes or low testosterone. If you're also noticing fatigue, low mood, or reduced muscle mass, it may be worth checking your hormone levels with a trusted provider. And then there's the emotional side. If frustration turns into anxiety, avoidance, or shame, those are just as important to address as physical symptoms. I've worked with many men who waited years out of embarrassment, only to find that simple interventions like low-dose testosterone therapy, medication adjustments, or even talk therapy helped tremendously. The bottom line? Seeking help isn't weakness, it's wisdom. And the sooner you speak with a provider who listens without judgment, the sooner you'll start to feel like yourself again. Sexuality isn't just physical, it's emotional, it's relational. And as you age, intimacy often becomes less about friction and more about connection. Many men over 60 have quietly carried years of unspoken shame, pressure, or comparison, thinking they had to perform to be worthy. But here's the truth I've seen over and over again. Emotional safety creates physical response. When a man feels safe to slow down, safe to be vulnerable, safe to be seen, his body begins to relax. And with that relaxation comes pleasure. One of my longtime patients, George, age 71, told me how he and his wife hadn't been intimate in over a year, not because of a lack of love, but because of silence. He feared he couldn't measure up, and she feared she'd hurt his pride. Through gentle coaching, they started sharing their fears and hopes out loud, without blaming or fixing. Within weeks, their intimacy returned. Not in the same way it once was, but in a way that felt even more honest and nourishing. 1.2. This stage of life invites a new kind of masculinity, one rooted in presence, patience, and emotional depth. Not the masculinity of proving something, but the kind that says, I am here, I am open, I trust you, and I trust myself. If you're partnered, invite them into this journey. If you're not, start by inviting yourself back into your body, your heart, your right to feel good again. Because sexual vitality isn't about youth. It's about being fully alive with nothing to prove and everything still to experience. Let's talk about how your everyday choices, what you eat, how you sleep, how you move, can quietly but powerfully support your sexual vitality. And no, this isn't about overhauling your life or chasing perfection. It's about subtle shifts that add up to real, lasting change. First, nutrition. What you put into your body is what your body uses to create energy, hormones, and circulation. Foods rich in omega-3 fatty acids like salmon, walnuts, or flaxseed support healthy testosterone and blood flow. Leafy greens help with nitric oxide production, which your blood vessels need to function well. Hydration is equally important. Even mild dehydration can reduce arousal and stamina. Sugar and alcohol, while fine in moderation, can dull your libido and increase inflammation. Many of my patients found that cutting back even slightly, say, 2 fewer glasses of wine per week, or switching from soda to herbal tea made a noticeable difference in their mood, sleep, and confidence. Then, there's movement. We talked earlier about walking and pelvic floor exercises, but I also encourage light strength training. Lifting even modest weights helps increase testosterone naturally, improve posture, and boost your sense of power and presence. Finally, sleep. One of the least sexy but most essential factors. Your body restores hormones and repairs tissue while you rest. Aim for 7-8 hours. If sleep is disrupted, look at screen time, caffeine, and bedroom temperature before reaching for pills. These changes don't have to happen overnight, but with each small step, you tell your body you're worth the care. And that message, repeated consistently, is where vitality truly begins. Aging has been framed for far too long as a slow march into decline. But what if we saw it differently? What if, instead of losing something, you were gaining a new kind of wisdom, a deeper connection with your body, your heart, and your capacity for pleasure? You're not broken because your response has changed. You're not less of a man because your erections take more time. You're not irrelevant because you've entered a new season of life. You are evolving. Think of your sexuality like music. In youth, it's loud, fast, maybe even chaotic. But as you age, the melody slows. The notes deepen. There's more room between them, more meaning. And while it may not be as intense, it can be more intimate, more profound if you're willing to listen. I once had a patient in his late 70s who told me, "I've never felt more connected to my partner, to myself, than I do now. But it took me decades to realize intimacy isn't about performance, it's about presence." You don't have to chase who you used to be. You're allowed to honor who you are now, and discover that pleasure doesn't have an expiration date. So let's reframe this chapter. You're not winding down. You're waking up, perhaps for the first time, to a gentler, richer way of living in your body. And that is something to celebrate. If there's one message I hope you carry with you after watching this, it's this. You are still deeply capable of joy, connection, and fulfillment. You don't need to fight your body, shame your changes, or hide behind silence. Instead, you can meet this stage of life with curiosity, kindness, and courage. You don't have to have all the answers right now, and you don't need to fix everything overnight, but you do deserve to feel respected by your own body again. You deserve to experience pleasure that feels nourishing, not pressured. You deserve intimacy that honors all of you, not just the physical, but the emotional, the soulful, the human. Aging doesn't take your worth. It simply asks you to relate to yourself differently, to shift from force to flow, from performing to feeling, from enduring to embracing. I've seen men in their 60s, 70s, even 80s find new joy in their relationships, reconnect with their bodies, and rediscover what it means to be whole. You're not too late. You're right on time. The question is not, can I get it back? But rather, am I willing to explore what's possible now? Because if you are, there is so much waiting for you. And you don't have to do it alone. I'm here. We're here. And this journey, it can be one of the most meaningful you've ever taken. If today's message resonated with you, if even one part of your story felt seen, understood, or validated, then I invite you to stay connected. You don't have to figure this out alone, and you don't have to settle for silence. Leave a comment below if something here gave you hope or raised a question. You'd be surprised how many others are navigating the same things, quietly. Like this video if it made you feel a little less alone. And subscribe to this channel if you like more conversations like this, real, respectful, and rooted in care. We'll be exploring sleep, energy, testosterone, relationships, and more. If you're ready to go deeper, click the video on your screen. Now, it's all about the most effective, natural ways to support sexual health after 60, and I think it will help you take the next step. But for now, take a deep breath. You've already done something important today. You listened to your body, your heart, and your curiosity. That's not small. That's the beginning of healing. From my heart to yours, thank you for being here. You are worthy of feeling alive, and your story is far from over.